Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm going to show you 5 of my houseplants that have been doing very well this month. And then I'm going to also show you one of my houseplants that has not been doing so well this month. And I'm also going to update you on my sad houseplant of last month. So this is the top 5 houseplants of April. And I know that it is already May, but April has been a super crazy month, and I am just so glad that it is over and we're moving on to a new month, and hopefully we are moving on to bigger and better things. I have been still working full-time, and we were just notified by our landlord. We have been renting this house for 2 years, and we have been notified by her that she is selling the house. So we have been trying to find a house to buy, and we started that in probably the beginning of January. But then when the whole COVID-19 thing came along, it was kind of hard to find a house, just because a lot of people were not wanting people walking through their homes and looking at the houses. So fingers crossed that we can find something, and our landlord did want us to move out at the end of April, but she was nice enough to let us stay until the end of May. So I'm not looking forward to moving all my plants into a new house, but it will be our house and we will live in it for a very long time. So that is one plus and positive to the whole situation. But let's get on with the plants. I want to show you 5 plants that I have been loving over the month of April. And I'm going to start with a plant that I was in love with when I first bought it. And I think I got it at, from Steve's Leaves. And when I first got it, I was so excited to have it. Such a beautiful plant, but it really didn't do anything. It didn't grow. It pretty much just stayed how it was when I bought it. And that plant is this Sango Neum. I think it's called like Lanny Road. I'll put the name on the screen. But, oh, hold on, my sister's calling me. Okay, so this plant, it does have red on the underside of the leaves. And then it has like a dark green on the front of the leaves, the tops of the leaves. And like I said, at first it really wasn't doing anything. It didn't give me any new growth. But now it has grown a lot of new leaves. And they don't really have the super red on the back yet. I'm hoping that they will get more of the maroon color once they mature a little bit. But it does have all this new growth down in here. It does have a leaf that, probably one of the first leaves that you know, came with the plant, so it looks like it's on its way out, but that is okay, because there are some, you know, there's a leaf coming out here. This is a newer leaf, and I'm just super excited that this plant is finally growing and doing something for me, and I hope that it grows to be a very full and tall plant. I do have a little stick here just to help hold it up. But that is one of the plants here on my top 5 houseplants of April. Okay, so the next plant, I know I've showed you guys this plant before, but I just have been loving it so much. It is just growing so many leaves for me. I really think it loves the spot that it's in. And this is one of my Philodendron Brazils. And it has grown a lot. It does have a lot of new growth here, and it is growing a lot more. But I've just been loving this plant so much. It doesn't really take too much care. I do have it in, it's probably, I'm going to say about 6 to 8 feet from my south-facing window. and it is bunched together with a couple other plants, so I think that it does like that. But at first I didn't think it was going to grow for me. I didn't think it was going to do much. The older leaves look kind of, you know, beat up and worn, but it did start to grow. And this is one of the plants that I do use my the organic fertilizer, the Neptune organic. If you missed my fertilizer video, I will link it above so you can take a look at that if you're interested. But this plant has really responded very well to fertilizing, and so I'm very excited for this plant. But that is my Philodendron Brazil for the month of April. Okay, so this next plant is a plant that I did a repotting video. So the story with my Monstera Adansonii is when I first bought a Monstera Adansonii, I bought it at Lowe's, and it was a pretty big plant. It was, I think, $24, $25, something like that. And it was gorgeous. If I have a picture of it, I will insert it. But one day I started noticing that it was just not doing so great. It was yellow, it was having brown tips, so I checked it out and I saw that it had mealybugs. And that was my first experience with mealybugs. I had no clue what they were. And so unfortunately, with all the treatment that I did with that plant, it did not survive and I had to throw it away. And so when I found another one, I was kind of nervous to get it, but I did buy it. And I did a repotting video on it. And I did repot it into this white pot. And I've been keeping a close eye on it, and it has been doing very well. I do keep it on my plant wall near my south-facing window. And it is grouped together with some other plants over there as well. And it has grown a whole bunch of new leaves. And it does not have any mealybugs, so I'm excited about that, even though right now my house has so many mealybugs, it's not even funny. And of course you can't find alcohol in the stores anywhere, so I'm like stressed out about that. And I have been doing some other treatments for the mealybugs, but for some reason they keep attacking my Hoya, and I think it's because they are producing so many new leaves right now that the mealybugs really love those new leaves, and they are just on the new leaves. But I do keep a close eye. I do clean them every single day. But fortunately, this plant has not had any mealybugs, which I'm very excited about. And so that is another plant here on my top 5 houseplants of April. And I can't wait to watch this one grow and trail. I will probably put it on a pole pretty soon here, but for right now I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, so the next plant here, speaking of Hoya, this one is my Hoya Obovata, and it has been doing very well. It's kind of a slow grower, and it has produced some leaves for me, but not too many. But now that spring is here and I am using my fertilizer, I have noticed some new growth. So there's a little one there, and it does have, it has leaves, little leaves coming out pretty much everywhere I look. And let's see, I know there's some more. Oh, there's some here. These ones are all new. This whole little stem here is new. And there's just so many new leaves on this. And this plant, I think this one was my first Hoya. I did buy this one at a nursery here. I think it was Barrage Nursery, I think. If I have that video, I think I did a shop with me. I will link it above if you guys are interested in checking that out. It was a while ago. I'm going to say at least maybe a year ago, somewhere around there. But this is one of my favorite Hoya. It just gives me no problems. It sits really close to my south-facing window, and it seems to love it over there. So I just leave it alone and let it grow. I do water it when the leaves become wrinkly or like wilted looking, and it does just fine. So I'm really loving this plant. I cannot wait to watch it grow even more this spring and summer. And I just love it. I think it's such a gorgeous plant. Okay, so the last plant here on my top 5 of April is this plant. I can't get the whole thing in camera, but it is my Tetris, the Rapa Fedora Tetris. So this plant I got from the Sagebrush, and they have a local little shop here, and they're such awesome people. I've talked about them before, and I can't wait to go and show you guys around their shop once things start opening up and we are allowed to go back and do some plant shopping. I will definitely take you guys to their plant shop and show you what they have. But this is one plant that I did buy from them. I was so excited to get it. And I can't really put it, it's really tall. I'll have to show you, I'll insert a picture of it. But this is also a plant that has been responding very well to my fertilizer, my Neptune organic fertilizer. And it does have a new little leaf coming out here. And then at the top of the plant, let me see if I can show you. It does have some new growth up here as well. So it is getting a new one right there. It's unfurling. So I put this one up on, I first put it on this kind of large moss pole, or some kind of totem pole, and it started growing really good up the pole, but then it got way too big for the pole, and so I had to put it on some like some bamboo sticks because it is really tall. So like I said, I will show you the picture of this plant, and I will also show you where all these plants sit in my home. But this plant I've really been loving, and the only thing with this plant is I have noticed some spider mites on this plant, and I did notice that it was getting some yellowing leaves. So I think it was just due to the spider mites, but I think I have those under control now, and I've been watching it, and I hope that they stay off this plant because it is such a cool plant. But that is my Tetris on the top 5 houseplants of April. Okay, and before I show you the houseplant that is not doing so well this month, I wanted to show you the houseplant from last month that I was concerned about. This was my mottled Singhania, and it only had that one leaf. And like I mentioned in my last video, if you guys missed that video, I will link it above. It was my top 5 houseplants of March, and it only had, you know, this little stem. It had no leaves, and so I cut it down, and one leaf grew, and now there is another leaf growing. So I'm so excited for this plant and that it's growing a new leaf for me. Focus. This is also a plant that I used the Neptune organic fertilizer. I only used it one time on this plant so far, but it seemed to respond very well to it, and it is doing well, and it's growing a new leaf. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy that this plant didn't die. I'm happy that I did not give up on it and throw it away. So that is my mottled Singhania. Okay, now let's talk about the houseplant that is not doing so well for the month of April. This plant I bought, I think it was Steve's Leaves, and this is the plant. So I'm guessing you probably cannot tell what it is. but I will show you the tag here. And I really, really wanted this plant, so I was upset when it wasn't doing so well. It is the Philodendron Brachiensis, and all the leaves turned yellow and just fell off. So just like with the mottled Sango Neum, I couldn't give up on the plant, and so I just cut all the leaves down and cut it down to pretty much nothing. And I put it near my grow light, and all of a sudden I started seeing some growth. So there is a little growth here, and there's one right here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this plant. Hopefully it will be a success story, because I really wanted this plant and I was so excited when I finally got my hands on it. So I will definitely keep you guys updated on this plant. I'm going to keep it near my grow light because it seems to be doing well over there. And I don't know why it died in the first place. I'm not sure if I wasn't giving it enough light. I wasn't sure if I'm overwatering it, underwatering it. It was doing okay at first. It was growing, and then all of a sudden the leaves started yellowing and they just all started looking horrible. I thought it had spider mites. I checked it over. It did not have spider mites. It did not have mealy bugs. So I'm really not sure what happened to it, but I am fingers crossed that this plant will be a success story. I will update you guys on this plant in my May top 5 houseplant. So if you don't want to miss that video, if you don't want to miss the update on this plant, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. So we will see in the end of May what this plant looks like. Okay, you guys, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, so much for sticking around with me. It has been a hectic month, and I really haven't been able to film too many videos. I do have some plants that I need to repot, so I'm going to do a repotting video soon, and I will keep you guys updated on how my house hunt is going, and hopefully we can find something so we can be out of this rental and into a new house, and then I have to move all these plants into a new house, but I will show you guys all of that. I will show you where I put them and show you everything. So again, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the top 5 videos of the month, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see more plant videos from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to thank everybody so much for watching. And until next time, guys, bye.